All right, staying in Nigeria, the Nigerian government on Monday confirmed 7,202 cases of diphtheria out of the 11,587 suspected cases across 105 local government areas in 18 states, including the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Now, the government disclosed this in a joint press statement signed by the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare, the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, the Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention, and other development partners. The statement noted that most of the confirmed cases were recorded in Kano, where 6,185 cases, as other states with cases are Yobe with 640, Katsina with 213, Borno with 95, Kaduna 16, Jigawa 14, Bauchi 8, Lagos 8, the FCT 5, Gombe 5, Osun 3, Sokoto 3, Niger State 2, Cross River 1, Enugu 1, Imo 1, Nasarawa 1, and Zamfara 1. It stated that 5,299 of the confirmed cases, which is 73.6%, occurred amongst children aged 1 to 14 years, with those aged 5 to 14 years bearing most of the brunt of the disease. And of course, to give an expert view, to all of this, we are joined by Professor of Virology, Professor Oyewale Tomori. Thank you so much for your time, sir.
My pleasure.
All right, let's get straight into it. It seems other countries are not talking about this particular bacteria, despite its deadly nature. Can you first give us, just a quick crash course on what this bacteria is all about and your take as regards enlightenment?
Thank you very much. It's a very common bacterium that we find all over. But in other parts of the world, they are taking good care of it through vaccination. The disease, there's a toxin which it releases, which leads to the symptoms and the signs that we see in the people who are infected by the bacterium. Why the world is not talking about it is because they've overcome through vaccination. From the report that you gave, you find that majority of the cases are in children between the 5 to the age of 14, and even some of them at the young ages. But each of these children in other parts of the world have received their vaccination. But that's not the case with Nigeria. And that's why, to me, I think it's a shame and it's a smack on our country that we're talking about diphtheria at this time and at this age.
Now, according to the Ministry of Health, 73.6% of the cases occurred amongst children aged 1 to 14 years. Now, lead us into how this bacteria is actually spread and possible ways on how it can either be prevented or maybe cured or curbed.
Actually, the 70% is the age of 5 to 14. About 20% of the children below the age of 5 are also involved. So we see a full range of between these 0 almost newborn to about 14 years who have been infected by this disease. What happens is that early at birth, each child gets what we call the DPT 1, 2, 3, which contains diphtheria, tetanus, and pertussis vaccine combined together. And once they get that, then they are protected from further infection. Like I said, it's a bacterium which is coming all over the place, and it can be spread by when the symptoms come. You release from your cough and other things the bacterium into the environment. And you can also have it, on contaminating your table or anywhere contact. And anybody who have contact with that and close contact with the people who have it, they end up with this infection, particularly if they have not been vaccinated and they don't have the immunity which is provided by the DPT vaccine. And when you check our records as a nation, our coverage has actually been below 60% for quite a long time. And that's why you're getting children even up to the age of 14 coming down with the disease.
Can you just give us an idea, of how deadly this bacteria is? Are we talking about something, in the realms of, say, COVID-19 or the Ebola?
No, not that much. I mean, even the figures we've had, according to the figures that come in Nigeria, between May 2022 up to now, we've actually only reported 8,000 cases, although the figures the government are giving is now coming up. I think what we need to note is that the large number and the upsurge is increased over the last 3 months. The figures that we've had now, when you look at it, is even probably more than all that occurred between May last year and July this year. May last year and July this year. This huge number we're getting now, which is spreading all over the place, is occurring in the last 3 months of the year, which again it frightens me because we have not done anything about it. We knew we had this problem since 2022. Why is it now that we're talking about it? So both the government, you yourself, even we the scientists, and also the press, these are issues which will be raised ahead of time and not wait until we have these massive cases occurring and many children are dying out of the disease.
All right, Professor, before I let you go, aside from being vaccinated, are there local remedies that can be taken to tackle this particular bacteria? And also the issue of price in terms of cost. How cheap is it to get, will I call it, medication right now, if at all you want to prevent the bacteria or you've even contracted it?
I think the DPT vaccine is probably one of the cheapest around. And that's why I was saying, I'm a bit ashamed of our country. But at this stage and this time, we're talking of diphtheria, which, the vaccine is available, can be available to children. Make sure you get them. Our issue is not the vaccine. Our issue is the coverage. We're not covering our children enough to protect them. And that's why we're getting the cases. If you search them way back to 14 years, something tells you a story about that one. That, what has happened, all these children within the last 14 to 15 years backward, they have not really, in fact, one of the interesting things about this study was that of those who have been infected, 20% of them are the only ones who have been fully vaccinated. We have at least under 80% of those children who, the number we're getting, who were not fully vaccinated or not vaccinated at all. That's the problem. It's not the price, it's not the whatever. It's the fact that we're not vaccinating our children, pure and simple.
All right, thank you so much for your time, Professor. Of course, we've been discussing with Professor Oyewale Tomori, Professor of Virology. And of course, he has been talking about the diphtheria bacteria. Once again, thank you so much for your time, sir.
My pleasure.